So this week at Edison Motors, we bought a grader, the chassis showed up, Theron takes a poop in his cabin, and we employ some child labor.
All right, I am standing here inside the frame of the undisclosed truck. We are finally getting back to working on it after spending the last month and a half moving from Merritt to our new shop here, painting everything. We got lights set up, floors painted. You all seen that in a previous video, but we are finally ready to get back to working on this chassis. So the first thing we are doing is we got the cab over there. We saw that last week and that. And we are going to be working towards getting that cab on top of this chassis. But because some of the holes when we ordered the chassis were pre-cut, but stuff like the cab and all the cab mounts were not yet designed, we have to figure out how we're going to make sure everything lines up in CAD. So what I have today is I've used our 3D printer to print a bunch of jigs to line everything up. So this one over here is centered on our cross member, which was laser cut when we ordered the frame rails, so I know exactly where that is in CAD. And then down here, these mounts are measured off of that one. As well, some of them are connected together, as you can see with these little pieces, and they will center the fender mounts, the cab mount, and then the front cross member here. So basically what I'm doing is we already have the pieces done and manufactured, so all I have to do is line them up like this, and then have a second person come along with a transfer punch, mark out all those holes, and then we know exactly that these mounts will fit because we're using the mounts themselves. But just goes to show in one-off prototyping like this how useful a 3D printer is. For example, we didn't have the right size transfer punch, and that could have delayed us by a few hours, but instead I was able to print this little adapter in 10 minutes on our printer, and now this transfer punch will fit perfectly in our holes. And we can start our pilot holes for our mag drill to come in and drill out all these holes. These mounts as well, I've made them symmetrical. So these little bars flip out. And when we change to the other side, we'll be able to use the same mounts, but have the location flipped. And so we know everything will be mirrored. We're using the exact same mounts. So I have no concerns about things being off either side. So yeah, now we're gonna get that process going. We're gonna film a little bit of it. And yeah, I'm really excited to actually be working on these chassis again for the first time in a while. Felt like forever, but progress is gonna go really, really fast from here because we basically have all the parts together. It's now just about getting it onto the chassis and getting this thing out the door.
And then we're gonna run the water lines and then go down to the pump house and turn the water on, and we'll get some water to the cabins. It's nice we had Damon from Hard Work Industries come up today and dug all our trenches. It sure is a bonus having equipment like that up here because not often you get on job sites and there's big machinery with excellent operators to be able to handle jobs like this. So right now we're here at the main pump house here for the Edison site. It doesn't look like much, but hey, it's gonna run a lot of water. So right now we're turning on the water because I got all the water lines hooked up to the cabins to get some toilets and stuff going for the people that are gonna be living here. So let's go check it out. We got some small pressure tanks for now, but it's still gonna be good enough to pressurize everything that we have at the sites for now. There's gonna be some upgrades in the future, but right now we're just getting things going so everybody can use the washroom facilities. I think the water pressure, there's tons of water, so there's no shortage of water, and there's lots of water pressures. We run 1.25 inch lines up through everything, and branch off according to all the cabins. Well, we got the water shut off while I worked on everything up top there, and we're gonna turn it on so we can test things up top. So I'm gonna slowly crack the valve here, just because we don't want to turn it on full pressure at first. And then we're gonna go up and check for leaks. So right now I'm gonna turn it up about a quarter of the way, and we'll go up and see how it is. We just got back up top here. Now we got the water on down there. So we came up and just gonna check to see if we have water up here, which let's see. Yeah, we do, we're golden there. So now we're gonna go around and check to see if we got any leaks. So right now here, we went around and checked for leaks. We're all good, so that's a bonus. So we got Tom here filling in, back doing a little back filling. So what we've done here now, we've installed what it's called stop and drain valves. So that means when you have your water, when you shut your water off on the main valve, it'll drain back down out from the cabin. So if the guys go or people go away for the winter, they can shut them off and it'll drain down nice and easy. I put the PVC around because I'm just gonna put a cap on there so it doesn't get filled with rocks and crud, but it should work great. Just a quarter turn valve, we got it turned on now, and let's go turn the toilet on. So I know this is just temporary for now too, so don't get excited about how it looks. Turn the valve on.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have a flushing toilet.
That's pretty awesome.
Thumbs up all around.
Okay, so we're back in Donald. We got, I think this is Edison Motors grader now. This is your guys' piece of equipment. So we got that, brought that from GPRB. So I got it here. We're gonna sit it down, get it unloaded, and hopefully grade the roads before everyone shows up today. So I'm gonna show you guys the whole process of scissoring down with archers and a swamper. So most people, highway fellas, reefer, whatever, they don't really slide their fifth wheel, but since we're setting this on the ground, picking it back up, I slid my wheel all the way back so that when I drop the trailer, my nice new fenders aren't gonna get destroyed again. So we're gonna set this down. I might have to move the grader. I hope I don't have to, but we're gonna set that down, and we're gonna get this neck flat. So it's pretty much just gonna turn the trailer into a giant ramp. Then we'll run this big girl off and then go from there, I guess. So the scissor part is this right here, because once it's moving, you'll see it kind of acts like a scissor. So when it's all the way up, the neck can come like this, and all this will be touchy nice and tight. And then when we scissor down, all this will kind of move and lay over, and the neck will be all loosey-goosey and lay flat on the ground. We use our winch. So this is actually for a bed truck. This trailer is a 3-position neck. So this is position 1. Position 2 would be bed truck mode, and position 3 would be scissored out or scissored flat, like what we're gonna do. To do that, you need a winch truck. That's the only way I think a guy can scissor a trailer. I mean, you can use a wheel loader if you really felt like it, but we'll set this down. I'll pick it back up, pull out all my locks and my safety pins, and I'll just set right down, easy peasy, and away we go. Alrighty. It's gonna be a little rough, but it's all good. Now the moment of truth, we gotta move the grader or not. So these pins here, those are your main load bearing pins, these ones. Like these guys, this is what's holding the neck where it is right now. So it takes the weight off of these, but this here is where most of your weight's getting transferred on a low bed. I actually know a guy last week, he snapped one of those off. So always do your pre-trips.
Okay, so we just picked up a Volvo 946 grader from Ritchie Brothers. So where all of the newer equipment has all been Spencer's with Hardwork Industries, the Cat, the Dozer, the Rock Truck, this one is actually ours. The reason is we need to be able to build this test track. As you guys know, it's important for CMVSS that we have a test track so that we can certify our trucks on the track so that we can build trucks. Part of that, we're gonna have to smooth out that ground. So thought that Spencer was thinking about getting one and then using it out here, but really I think it makes a lot more sense if we just own the grader, because after doing the test track, there's gonna be some maintenance on the test track, maintaining our own internal roads on the property and doing all the snow clearing. So this is just a permanent asset we own now. I really think it's gonna come in handy. We've already been using it, smooth out some of the roads out here, smooth out some of the test track that's already at the stage of completion that's at that point. One of the fun things though is that I think I'm the only one here that knows how to run a grader. So I've been playing around on this grader a little bit, got her out, tested her out, took some meetings in there. Matt went through it, had a look at everything, and all in all, from Ritchie Brothers, it was in really good shape. We did have a leak on one of our transmission lines, so he's just fixing that up right now today. Hopefully we get that going tomorrow and be back at it cruising it, but I kind of like it. I'll be honest, I really enjoy running graders, so if I got a meeting or something, I can pop in the headphones, hop in the grader, smooth out some roads, and you'd be surprised how much of my office is in the cabin of the machine. All right, if you guys remember from the go-kart video, the Golden High School kids absolutely dominated in that challenge. Awesome job, guys. Tons of first place and podium finishes. So obviously, being that they're so skilled, we had to hire them on here. So why don't you introduce us?
Hi, I'm Jaden. This is Sals, and we got Eric. We've been doing a lot of insulation and vapor barrier around in all these cabins for all the staffing, trying to get them ready for the winters and summers that they'll be staying here.
Yeah, for the last couple weekends, they've been working weekends while they're still going into school, but now they're coming here full time. So Matt and Connor are back tomorrow, so we're gonna get them on that Land Cruiser, start taking that cab off and start looking at that stuff and doing some odd cleanups around this. So I really appreciate you guys coming out here and helping out. And
Sweet to be out here.
No, it's great.
yeah, thanks. So Peter's 3D template stencil thing worked pretty good. All of the stuff does line up. It's all parallel. We got the front cab mounts on. We got the fenders put on. We got the lower rear cab mounts. We're just waiting on the upper. So the top part, because there's an airbag right here, there's a top cab mount that sits on that. Those got finished. I dropped them off at the powder coating place a little while ago. Should be by the end of the week. We'll have these back. Then we'll be able to take the cab up. So what we had to do is we had to move this cab over and into this bay because the Emcon truck chassis is coming from Merritt, which means that this one had to go into the bay that it needed to belong in. So what we did is we lifted the cab up because this is the bay with the overhead crane. It is a manual crane, it's not electric, so somebody had to ride on the cab. Don't worry, they weren't an employee of Edison Motors, which means that they don't covered under WCB. That's just somebody doing that for fun, I think. Those are the rules. But we got her up safely. Spencer brought the chassis under it. We slid it under, we dropped it down because now all that's left is once we get those top cab mounts, Peter's back after Canada Day long weekend. We'll take that cab, we'll put it here, and we'll put the battery mounts because those are also getting powder coated. There's a battery that goes right in here. So once we get the battery mounts in, then we'll take the cab, we'll put the cab on here. They can start on the wiring, connecting all the batteries, connecting the high voltage, putting in the low voltage wiring harness, and we're getting really close to being done in the next month or two. It's exciting. Okay, one of the things we had to do for production is that we only had the undisclosed truck here. We needed to get that Emcon snowplow here. We were just waiting for them to weld on the rear tip seal and mark out places where they're gonna be putting their wing mounts, their underbody mounts, all of those things that we needed marked out so that we can do our work. So once they got that done, we sent the low bed over. Paul grabbed it with his low bed. He brought it up here. Then Spencer went over. He grabbed it with the excavator, slid it into the shop, placed it here, and now it's here and we can start working on this soon. The other big update from my end of what I did last week is I flew over to Ontario, met with Rich from DeBoss Garage. As you guys know, they're our partners on doing up the pickup truck kits. They got this Land Cruiser as far as they could take it. Now it was time to bring it out here, get it into our shop, take the cab off, start installing the batteries and the high voltage components. But in the meantime, we had to get it out there, so I flew over there, picked it up, we drove down to Indiana where I grabbed the truck sleeper. That's gonna be the one for that Royal BDE winch tractor. So got a little tour of their factory, seen what was going on. I was really, really happy with the build, how the sleeper turned out, the quality that they put into those things. Then we continued our drive across the United States. We showed it to the customer. They were really, really happy with it. They want us to proceed to the next build. They're hoping to have it done by mid-August. I don't know if it's gonna be there. We told them we'll try our hardest. No promises or guarantees. There's gonna be a lot of testing and integration to go through. But we got it here. If you wanna see more on this Land Cruiser build, make sure you go follow DeBoss Garage and Rich. And if you want to see that road trip we did across the United States, I'm sure it'll be on their channel soon. All right, thanks for watching. Wheelie.